didn't play. We didn't play our best game. We didn't coach our best game. And everybody was ready to go reset shortly thereafter that. It was a quiet plane ride. And I think there was a lot of people self-reflecting. There was a lot of people watching the tape and not being very happy with what they were seeing.
This is the ODU Coaches Show on News 3.
Hitting the road to Harrisonburg here. We welcome you inside the Old Dominion Football Coaches Show. Ricky Rahne, Mark Davis. Coach, thanks as always for being with us here. Obviously back on the road to James Madison. Now to you guys, next one up, next game. To the fans, it's the Royal Rivalry. What jumps up to you about the passion of this rivalry and the fan base?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're relatively close to each other, and we have a lot of people in this area who went there, and so the people in this area who went to Old Dominion and rep the 757, obviously they want to have bragging rights over their neighbors and things like that. So I understand that, and it's a big game. It's been a big game since all the way back in our CAA days.
Yep.
Or, I won't call it the Yankee Conference. I don't think it was that, but yeah. So it's been that for a long time, and we end up recruiting against them quite a bit in a number of different areas. So yeah, there's some reasons why it's a rivalry game, no doubt.
On the field, it's guys you've seen before, Barnett, Knight, guys you're familiar with, so you know the type of talent that's coming at you here tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've done a nice job. They've supplemented their wide receiver course with some transfers, and that's really helped them out on offense there. And then they, had a couple guys on offensive line, but they've got a lot of guys back. Their defense is playing really, really well right now, and that's been they play aggressive and they play physical, and that's kind of been their calling card right now.
Well, you mentioned that defense, actually top in the conference, 229 yards per game. That's among the best in the country, too. So you guys know you're going to have to come up with some wrinkles, obviously, to penetrate that D.
Well, I mean, and we've got to play well. I mean,
yeah.
if when you look at it, you look at their defense, they do a nice job. They bring a lot of pressure. I mean, that's one of their hallmarks. They're gonna blitz quite a bit, and they're very good when they blitz. They're good blitzers, and they create seams, and they kind of get people off levels so that they can't pass off things and things like that. So we've got to be ready to go, and a lot of it's technique and fundamentals. Part of the reason why people blitz, especially that much, they're trying to get you outside of your game. A lot of it is you've got to really, instead of you need to go the other way, you need to hone in on your technique, fundamentals, and make sure that your eyes are in the right spot and all those sort of things. And you've still got to play aggressive. You can't play passive and play back. You've got to still attack.
Well, and you guys have the best offense in the conference. They have the league's leading defense. So a meeting of things that have been working pretty well for the most part this year.
Yeah. No, so it should be a great matchup. We're excited for it. I think all three phases are excited. It's two teams that play really aggressive and physical on both sides. So it'll be a great matchup.
I remember your last trip to Harrisonburg where you were sitting in the post-game press conference, and it was kind of like, man, we had that one. What do you remember about that last trip? It was a fantastic football game, obviously one that just came down to a couple of plays. What do you remember about your last trip to Harrisonburg?
I mean, it was a great environment, and I think you said it, though. I felt like we had some opportunities to win that game, and we didn't take advantage of them, and we need to make sure we take advantage of them this time.
You guys are coming off kind of an uncharacteristic day for you guys in terms of turnovers and fourth downs especially. How do you regroup? Yeah,
I mean, we need to go out there and we need to hone back in on our fundamentals. I think we've done that in practice.
Yeah.
I think we've really, starting all the way back on Sunday, we practiced in basically a nor'easter, but no one complained. Everyone was out there with great energy, and we were getting better. And I thought we got better at some things that we needed to. That was not our best football game, and we need to come out and play better. And that's my responsibility to make sure that we do play our best game in those types of situations. And so I'm excited to see how we come back out here against JMU.
Looking to bounce back from that loss at Marshall. We're going to break down to use some key plays against the Thundering Herd when the Old Dominion Football Coaches Show continues right after this.
Here's Joseph, straight drop back, looking near side, steps up in the pocket, down the middle. Pass is going to be caught. Trey Brown, and Trey Brown is gone. How about that? Wilson accepts the snap, and he's now running for his life. and he's going to be taken down at the 11-yard line short of the first down. That's a great play, Chris Trinidad.
Yeah, that game hurdle 94.1. The Old Dominion Sports Radio Network back here now on the Old Dominion Football Coaches Show. And Coach, obviously not the performance you guys wanted against Marshall. Still did some good things, though, especially earlier in the game. Let's break down some of those plays right now, and we'll take a look at play number 1 here. This early in the first quarter here, and just a dot here, right in the breadbasket to Jacory from Colton.
Yeah, it was a great play. You know, they came out, they decided they were going to play really aggressive and play a bunch of cover zero. And, you know, we made them pay on some plays, and others we didn't quite take advantage of it. But this is one where we definitely did. You know, obviously, one thing we got to continue to do is we got to put these things in the end zone, not only, you know, on this play necessarily, but later on we got to put this thing in the end zone. We're going to continue to be aggressive. I told the guys I'm going to continue to believe in them in those sort of fourth down situations. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to go for it or not go for it.
Right.
I'm going to go on, you know, what's best in the game situation there. But, you know, I think that, you know, we took advantage of some of the times in cover zero, but obviously not enough in order to win the game.
So when you see a one-on-one with a receiver and a DB back there, what's kind of your message what do you guys preach in those situations? You know, where Colton put it at a perfect place where Jacory could go get it. What are you telling? You put me in the shoes of like the offensive player and the defensive player, and what you're telling each of them in that situation.
I mean, I think it's not necessarily telling any, but you know, you're working all week in order to make sure that, you know, that's a situation where you don't feel like you can be covered, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't feel like I can be covered one-on-one. I don't like a 50-50 ball. You know, you don't believe in that. You believe it's a 90-10 ball.
Yeah,
and those
sure.
sort of things.
Yep.
So, and the same thing with the quarterback is putting it in a position where your guy can go get it, trusting him to go make a play for you. And Colton did a great job on that.
Speaking of which, let's hit play number 2 now. This is your first touchdown of the game. We're still in the first quarter here. 3rd and 15. Colton, I mean, talk about right where Trey can get it, kind of threading the needle there, if you will. I think he went over top of one of the DBs too.
Yeah.
But then, you know, off to the races, 71 yards, home and happy.
Yeah, it was great. It's a great route by Trey. Good read by Colton. Hit it on time and able to split the defense there, as you can kind of see. Layered it over a guy there, which was perfect. You know, and then he was able. You know, he caught that ball with some confidence, ready to go score. You know, and so I think he did an awesome job. Obviously, on 3rd and 15, it was a big play in the game. You know, you don't want to have to punt there again.
Right.
And we were able to convert and do some things. So, no, that was a big-time play right there. And I think that, you know, there's more of those to have. We've had a bunch of those throughout the year, and we've got to, you know, get back to making those continually.
Well, and you know, you beat me to it there. Explosive plays, we've talked about that on this program before. And what do you think is leading to you guys getting so many explosive plays? Because, I mean, I haven't counted. I'm just spitballing here, but it feels like you've had more maybe this year than you have before.
Well, I mean, you know, I knew that was going to be one of the things that was going to be important in this last game against Marshall. And unfortunately, we lost that battle in that game.
Yeah.
Right? So we lost 11% we lost by 1.23%. So I knew that was going to be an important part of the game. Yeah, we've done a great job, and we obviously have explosive players. We have explosive players basically at every position, which is, I think, what creates those.
Right.
But our offensive line has done a nice job of blocking as long as possible and blocking as long as necessary.
Yeah.
And I think that's been another one. So, and then guys are expecting to make plays. You know, they're getting in the open field and they're not saying, okay, well, this is far enough. They're trying to go the distance. So I think that's been the other big thing.
Let's take a look at this play here from the second quarter with the running game. Here we go. Markeye takes the handoff, gets plenty of space there, and then obviously we have the hurdle right there, and you know, goes for a pretty 30+ yards, I believe.
Yeah, it was a great job. Obviously, most of the times on those hurdles, you kind of stop and gather your feet. He does a nice job of hurdling and being able to continue. I'd like to see him pull the ball to his chin when he does that hurdle, so he doesn't leave behind him and leave the ball in jeopardy. But it was a nice job to be able to do that. That guy was obviously he's a little bit bigger than that guy, so that guy was going to try to tackle him. It was a good read by Colton, giving the ball, and we had a good box situation right there.
Around the guy there.
But right there, we just got to bring that ball to us to make sure we protect it. But it was a great run, and I thought Markeye did some really good things in this game. I thought he ran the ball pretty well, and he, obviously I think he's somebody who can come on the rest of the year.
What are your thoughts on hurdles? I mean, do you guys encourage, discourage? Hey, just do what your athleticism lets you do. What are kind of your thoughts on hurdles? Is it situational?
I think it just depends on who it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
you and me.
We had a guy. I had a guy, Coach Mike Gesicki at Penn State.
Yeah.
Man, I hated when he hurdled guys. And this is a guy with a 40-inch vertical leap. And
athletic
whatever.
tight end.
Yeah, he was really athletic, but when he would hurdle, he would like come to a stop and then jump over a guy like it was a vertical jump. And I was like, bro, and he got like flipped on his head a couple times, and it was just fine, but I was like, stop doing that, but then, obviously I was there when Saquon was there, and he hurdled guys pretty consistently.
Yep.
And obviously Markai's done it. And,
yeah.
And you do need to do it at times, because there's some guys that, when they put their eyes and head down and they go to cut you, it's whatever. It's when you kind of predetermine the hurdle that's going to be the issue. Yeah. So, it's got to be something that's off instinct and those sort of things. If you're saying to yourself, I'm going to hurdle this guy, that's usually when he lifts up and flips you on your head.
Well, the Monarchs looking to do plenty of running over in tomorrow's game against JMU, 3:30 on ESPNU.
Takes the handoff. No, he actually gives the ball off, and here we go with Markai James hurdling a respective defender, and inside the 35 he goes. Oh, Skeets Nehemiah, where are you?
Well, of course, ODU sports the 1-0 mentality, but the Royal Rivalry might just hit a little bit different. The players fired up to get to Harrisonburg and try to knock off those Dukes.
They're a hard-nosed physical defense, and their main thing is to try and stop the run. I think a lot of teams they played have barely even got over 100 yards rushing. Our main thing is we got to try and run the ball.
I think I like away games better, just going into that hostile atmosphere. And JMU has a really good fan base, and just playing in that type of environment and bringing back the win at their home would just mean a lot to me.
Yeah, the players fired up for this Royal Rivalry here tomorrow. Back here now with Coach Rahne. And, Coach, we're talking rules of the game. We've touched on this a little bit. We've dabbled, but I want to get your thoughts on this, pick your brain here. Any rules in football you'd like to see adjusted, changed, added, taken away, just off the top of your head?
Yeah, cut blocks.
Oh, yeah.
I wish we had them. Okay. Yeah, I think you should be able to cut block anywhere outside the box.
Okay.
I actually think the place we allow cut blocks is the most dangerous.
Right.
And I don't think you should be allowed to cut block in the box.
Okay.
I think you should be allowed to cut block on the perimeter. And anybody who's, I think it's the opposite of the way we have it. I think anybody who starts outside the perimeter can cut block, as long as you're cut blocking out or straight ahead, not going back in. And I think that'd be significantly better, because right now we're all going downhill, and there's a higher chance of concussions because that DB has no fear of getting cut.
Right.
Back in the day, you didn't always do that, because you might get sliced up a little bit.
Yep.
And if you go back and look at it, the injuries of cut blocks when they're done legally are not very high.
Okay.
And here's how I know and here's how I think that we would all agree with that. We still allow cut tackles, right?
Yep.
So and that's when a guy's not looking.
Right.
Right. I'm not saying you can ever do this.
Yeah.
It would have to be from straight on and those sort of things.
Okay. So we've also seen an increase that I want to get your take on, celebrations, especially in the NFL. What's your take on celebrating? Are you okay with it? I like seeing emotion in sports as long as it's not taunting the other guy.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
I think we're getting to a point, particularly in college football, not in the NFL. I think they do a nice job in the NFL because they get fined.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they get fined post. They don't always get the flag.
Right.
But if they see it, they fine them later.
They can go after the fact.
Yes.
Right.
And so I love the celebrations when it's like 10 guys all celebrating together and doing
Bowling
something
pins,
fun.
whatever.
Yeah,
Exactly,
that's fun, right? And they're doing it together. They're not mocking anybody. They're not doing anything like that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And let's have fun with it. It's the taunting of the other team.
Correct.
That I think can get bad. And it also, where it does is, I think those are the things where you start to have issues with fights and things like that, which we don't want in our game.
Yeah, I think the ball spin is fine. I think the taunting and the directing it towards the other team is the line you have to draw.
Yeah, and the other thing is when it's like 8 guys, 10 guys, 11 guys doing it together.
Yeah.
You're celebrating with your teammates.
Exactly.
You're not celebrating yourself. You're celebrating your teammates' accomplishments, which is, I think, awesome.
Well, so we've discussed replay on here earlier this year as well. What are your thoughts on the current state of replay?
Yeah. I have 2 thoughts, and one of them I have been very public about, and I do not, no one agrees with me, so that's fine.
Okay.
I think that the replay officials, I meet every other official before the game, but I don't meet the replay officials.
Okay.
So they make the biggest calls of the game, and no one ever sees them or meets them.
Right.
Right? They're kind of like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, right? Not saying they don't make great calls or
yeah,
whatever,
sure,
right?
sure.
I'm going to disagree with them. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I disagree with the guys on the field, but we have interactions.
You can voice your concerns with
Well,
them.
not only that, but we have interactions, and I'll see them again.
Yeah.
The replay officials, they don't meet any of us.
Yep.
In the entire country.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a great deal. The other thing I would say is this: I think we need red challenge flags in college.
Yeah, you were talking about the challenges earlier. With
I just think let's put more responsibility on the coaches.
Yeah.
And I also think it'll help the refs, because right now the refs have to sometimes I think they feel like they are supposed to officiate a play differently because replay might clean it up.
Exactly. Hey, we're just going to do it one certain way because we can always go back and look at it.
Right, and I don't think that's fair to them.
Right.
Let's just officiate the way that it's meant to, and then hey, inside 2 minutes, yeah, okay, we'll do what we got to do in replay. Yeah. But outside 2 minutes, I think we should have to throw the challenge flag.
I've thought this in every sport, more or less, and this could be me just being like the fan side of me and not like seeing what you guys see, understanding they have to figure out where to spot the ball and all this stuff like that. I've always thought that if you can't figure it out in 60 seconds, play stands, let's go.
No, I'm huge on that, because it's supposed to be beyond a it's basically beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, if you have to look beyond a minute, then it's not clear cut.
Now, the only issue with that is if a play gets overturned, some of the timing issue is having to figure out where the ball is.
Yes. Yes.
And the clock and the ball and all that sort of stuff. So that's the one issue. But I think they can tell us that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the play's being overturned. We're figuring out where the ball should be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I do think I'm with you. If it takes a long time, I don't see how, right now it's conclusive or inconclusive.
Correct.
Right? How can it possibly be conclusive if it takes you 5 minutes?
Exactly.
Now, the other thing I think fans need to understand is, they get with the officials, how could they miss that? How could they miss that? You're watching it.
Oh, in bang, bang.
Well, also, you're watching one thing.
Yeah.
Right? They're watching a million things.
Yeah.
Right? They're watching, whether it's a penalty, guys, all this sort of stuff. And you get the benefit of slow motion.
Right.
And 4 angles.
Yes.
They have their human eyes in that moment. It is actually remarkable how much stuff they get.
They get right. Yeah, absolutely.
It is having, as a head coach, you are the ref sometimes.
Yeah.
It is a minor miracle how much stuff they get right. I mean, it speaks to their training. It speaks to a lot of different things that they get as much right as they do.
Well, and look, I'll put it to bed after this, but I don't enjoy watching football like that, where you're always constantly looking for where the ref screws up. Mm-hmm. There are people, you're not a big social media guy, I get it, but there are people on Facebook who every week, it's the ref's fault. It's the ref's fault. Yeah. Why do you watch football if it's always the ref's fault? How do you enjoy watching football like that? That's all. I mean,
I would say this. The other thing, we all better watch out for that mentality and that culture, because it's ruining youth sports.
100%.
Because who wants to be a ref and get berated by people the entire time?
100%.
And if we don't have enough officials, then we're not going to have enough places to play these games.
Exactly.
Right? And that's going to be a major problem. And listen, I yell at refs, but it's just a different deal. When you're yelling at somebody like that and those sort of things. And I feel like I've gotten better at yelling at the refs. I'm not good,
sure.
and I know I still need to continue to grow with that. But it is something that I have a major fear. I think if there's a biggest problem with football, it's that.
But there's also a difference between you yelling at a ref during a football game in which you're coaching and you yelling at the ref at your son's hockey game.
Yeah, which I've never done.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
And I mean that in all seriousness.
Yeah.
I've never yelled at a ref there, and I've never yelled at a ref at my son's lacrosse games.
Right.
Right? Probably because I don't know the rules well enough.
Right.
That's fine.
Right.
But also, those people are doing as best they can, and they're allowing my sons to do something they love.
Exactly.
Without them, they can't do it.
Exactly. Well, Coach, thanks a lot for sitting down with us. ODU, JMU kicking off 3:30 on ESPNU tomorrow afternoon.
Joseph now claps, has the football, fakes the handoff, looking deep down the far side, has a man with half a step. It's Ja'Cory Thomas, and he makes the grab inside the 20. Ja'Cory Thomas and Colton Joseph hook up all the way down to the 11.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Old Dominion Football Coaches Show. Of course, Old Dominion James Madison may be the headline game in Sunbelt play this week, but not the only game kicking off. Let's see what else is going on around the league. A couple key matchups on the slate. Let's start in the East, where Coastal Carolina and App State will square off, both with one Sunbelt loss on the year. The Mountaineers visit ODU next Saturday. Out west, one that could go a long way. Southern Miss heading to Louisiana. The Golden Eagles looking to move to 3-0 in league play. That is your look around the Sun Belt. And that wraps up this edition of the Old Dominion Football Coaches Show. ODU JMU kickoff tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. on ESPNU. For Ricky Rahne, I'm Mark Davis. Have a great weekend, everybody, and go Monarchs.